Alright guys, so we're going to draw this moose today, okay? So I want to sketch in kind of a circle kind of shape up here. Okay, and once I get my circle shape, I'm going to draw kind of another shape like this. So, okay, and then I'm going to draw kind of a curved line up here to show me where those antlers are. There's another antler over here, and we've got a big moose body shape that's going to fill in this space here. So I'm just kind of getting some rough shapes in there. I'm not drawing all of the details right now. So we're just going to kind of sketch in some shapes. Okay, so here's our basic shape. I'm going to go ahead and darken in those lines so you can kind of see where they're at if you couldn't see before. Okay, these are just really rough lines. On your paper, you want to draw them nice and light so that you can erase them and there won't be a mark left. So here's a little bit darker, okay? We're ready to start making this into a moose now. Can you kind of see how it looks like a moose already a little bit? A little bit. We still need a lot of work, right? Okay, let's go ahead and start making this into a moose. I'm going to erase this little part of my circle, and I'm going to make a sharper line there. And then I'm going to draw just kind of a slight curve here. This is where his eye is. And then he's got another eye that's over on this side. And we're going to sketch it in, okay? It's kind of in shadow. So we'll draw it in here, okay? It's pretty dark. Now on his nose, we're going to make a little bit of an adjustment here. We're going to erase this line from our circle too. I'm going to make this end a little bit more flat. Yes, go sharpen your pencil. I'm going to make this end a little bit more flat. And he's so this is actually the shape that we want. Actually, I don't think that's his nostril. I think that's his mouth. And his nostrils are kind of in shadow. So we'll do that. He's got kind of a dark shadow under his eye. Put that in. And he's got some ears that we're going to sketch in. He's got an ear right here. Right? And then he's got an ear that is going to be mostly covered up, but we'll still sketch it in for the moment. And then we're going to cover it up in a minute. So there's kind of an ear shape, right? Okay. Now up here, let's start drawing in some antlers. Okay, that's going to be one of the trickiest parts. So you really need to pay attention. We're going to draw some antlers, and they're going to cover up part of his ear here. We're going to bring part of him up here and back down, kind of like that shape. And then another part's going to curve around right about here. It'll be okay. It's not finished yet. Don't give up. Well, you just gotta be confident. Have some confidence in yourself. Don't give up. Well, you know, you wouldn't come to art class if you already knew how to draw everything, right? If you already knew how to draw everything, you might as well pick a different class. So let's make a little bump right here in that antler and bring it down. So now we're going to erase some of the things that are showing through. I'm going to make that here a little bit different. I'm going to make it kind of pointy there. So there's an antler. And then we want to do another one. I think I'll make this part taller before I start on the other one. It'll be okay. Don't give up on your moose. Every moose can't look the same. Just don't worry about it, okay? Now, we're going to try this one over here. And this antler, because we're seeing it from a little bit different angle, is going to look a little bit different. So it's going to look kind of like it comes down a little and back up. And the end of it, it almost looks like fingers. So we're going to do almost like fingers here. And then there's a part that, let's see, let's follow this part down. And then as it comes back up, it's going to split off and come up really good and tall right here. So we've got moose antlers going on there. Cool, huh? Alright, so now we need to start shading this guy in. Antler look pretty dark. Remember, you can use the side of your pencil to go a little faster. Guys, I hear lots of talking. So we're going to shade this antler in pretty dark. This little piece that's the ear behind it, we're going to make it lighter gray. So make sure that this value is darker than the part that's behind it. This moose is just kind of laying in the grass, relaxing. He's like, oh, my life as a moose is such hard work. Have to work so hard every day, just being a moose. Yeah, try to do the shading along with me. So we're going to make this part nice and dark. So I've got a good antler going here. Now I'm going to start shading in his head. I'm going to make his head kind of a light gray value, but I'm going to give it some darker areas. So don't think that you can just shade it in one value and leave it alone. You got to do it alone. So let's just go ahead and give him an overall light gray. Okay, let's give him this almost like a triangle patch on the end of his nose. Let's make it nice and dark. And then we'll give him a little bit of shading right here. We'll give him some nice shadow where his eye is. And then right underneath his eye, we'll give him a nice shadow there. And then we want to make kind of the overall section right here kind of darker. And shade him in dark on the side of his neck. Right here. Give him a little shadow right in the middle of his forehead right there. Another one right here. Shade in this ear. Give him a little dark shadow right here where it turns a little bit. Okay. I don't think I've drawn that yet. Okay. So now we're going to make it really dark right underneath his nose right here. Really, really dark so that you can see the difference. You can see that this is in front of the other part. And then shade this part in nice and dark too. I think I need to sharpen the pencil. There we go. When you get to where you kind of drew in one of the legs, make that nice and dark. And I think I'm going to actually make this a little shorter. I think I made it a little too far out. Yeah, go get one. I'm going to make this part right here really dark, and then this part right next to it is going to be a little bit lighter right where it attaches, and then it's going to get darker over on this edge. Just do your best. So darken in this section here a little bit more. We're going to make this just a little bit darker than the part around it. Give it a little bit of contrast though between that and the body. And shade in the rest of that leg just kind of a nice light gray. Sounds good. Okay, so then this area over here, we're going to make a contrast right around where the face is a little bit. Make sure it has enough of a contrast that you can tell it apart. And then shade in kind of a light gray patch here. Oh, we got to shade in this antler too. Make it dark here. And make it dark on this edge. Make it dark on your edges. Like this. And dark here. And dark here. And then shade the rest of it in. Maybe not quite as dark, but pretty dark. So there's the antler. And then this part here is kind of a light gray, and then it goes dark gray after that. There's a lot of shading on this guy, and I almost need some little grass texture, right? Because he's laying in the grass, to draw in some grass texture. It's just a moose, don't even worry about it. So sketch in some grass, put in a horizon line back here in the back, and you've got yourself a moose. And if you're proud of your drawing, then make sure you sign it. There it is, all finished.